when I tell you guys that I cried so much. And that day I cried and it was like an overwhelming, like after like we went through like, okay, tell me everything. So like, you know, we sat down, we debriefed about like when he talked to my parents, when he talked to my sisters. Welcome back to the She Cultivates podcast. My name is Elizabeth Savion, and thank you for joining me on this week's episode. Here we talk all things cultivating community, personal growth, cultivating our best selves, and on this week's episode, we are having back again my fiance, Danny Valero, which we are so excited for this conversation. But before that, we want you guys to subscribe, like. If you are on YouTube, you can watch this episode, and that's a way that just gets to, you can see all our facial expressions, all our mannerisms, and it's very engaging. But also if you're listening to this on the way, you know, to work, you know, at your workout, whatever it is, we just love if you would share it on social media, let us know what you're loving. And we got a really good feedback from our last one.
Absolutely.
So how did you feel from the last episode?
I loved it.
Yeah.
I'm not used to seeing myself on camera, but yeah, I loved it, and I thought it was really good and made me excited for the next one.
Yes, this is a part 2, but it's proposal edition. So
that's right.
Yeah, so we're going to go back to that day. So we've been officially engaged now for a month and a half.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
April 13th will make it 2 months.
Yeah. Yeah, so we're recording this towards the end of March, and it's just been exciting. It's a lot of it's such like a bubble. I feel that it's a lot of emotions, excitement, a little bit of nerves, a little bit of stress when it comes to wedding. What have you been feeling the past month and a half?
Overwhelmed. Yeah, just a lot going on. Yeah, between work, other life's responsibilities, meetings, expenses, having to pay for everything, just knowing how much everything cost to celebrate our union with people that we love. Yeah, it's a lot of money. So, you know, it's overwhelming sometimes, but, you know, this is what we signed up for. We saw it coming. So to actually be in it, it's like, well, you know, just embrace the times, you know, because like I said, you know, we only get this, you know, day. We only get this day once in our life. So let's appreciate the moment. And you know, because once the wedding day comes, like it's happening, we'll have fun with it. It's gonna be worth all the effort that we're putting in now. But then that's it. Once that day's over, it's like that's it. We're not getting that day back, and we'll look back on these days and be like, they weren't as bad as we thought they were.
No,
just in the moment.
Yeah, it's just a lot of adjustment, you know, with your lifestyle, of planning together, making big decisions. And those of you guys that have already been married or gone through this process, you know. And everyone that I've talked to, they're like, it's a very normal thing. You're going to feel stressed. You're going to feel like heightened emotions because you're also on a decision fatigue. Like you have to make so many decisions. All of them are big decisions. And we're like looking at our budget and we're like, how are we going to do this? You know? And so it's been, we'll get to that towards the end, you know, when it comes to wedding planning. But I guess the proposal, let's take it back to that. Because that was, I would say, the best day of my life so far. You know? So we had gone wedding band shopping or wedding ring shopping around November, December. And so let's talk all things proposal.
Yeah, so it was back in November. We went to St. Augustine. And we saw this nice little jewelry spot, and we decided, like, yeah, let's go check out some rings. Let's go ring shopping, since we had already been talking about it a couple of weeks before. So that was our first time actually acting on it, and I got a very good idea of what you liked, which I loved because, yeah, that's just like an engagement ring. That wasn't something that I was trying to guess on. It's like, I know I wanted to buy something that you would really like and would appreciate. You know, you're wearing it for the rest of your life, and you know, they're not cheap either. So it's like you want to make sure you buy her something that she really likes. So, I'm really glad that we did that. And we went to multiple places. We went
Yeah.
to that place in St. Augustine. We went to, I actually went to a spot without
Oh,
you, and I checked it
okay.
out. The guy was not helpful at all. Won't
Okay.
mention any names.
Okay.
But yeah, I was just like, I was literally in there for like 5 minutes.
Oh,
And
wow.
yeah, what my coworker had recommended it to me.
Mm-hmm.
So I went one day after work and then I looked into it and yeah, it's just not a good vibe. I was like, nope, not a good fit. So
Mm-hmm.
I left. I was out of there by like 5 minutes. And then we went to Jared Jewelers.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, what I just really loved about them is that they took all your information down.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, they just took everything down. It made it
Mm-hmm.
very easy for me to remember.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, from that moment on, I would say really from November, I was already thinking what day I wanted to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And then, yeah, after going to Jared's Jewelers, I spoke to my family, spoke to your sisters,
Mm-hmm.
and that was when I was like, okay, you know what? Let's go buy this ring.
Mm-hmm.
I immediately thought of Jared Jewelers because it's right there, and I knew they had all the information on file.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, yeah. So I went. The process
Yeah.
was super easy. It worked
In
out really
January.
well. That was in January,
So he went
correct?
in November. Well, we saw the rings November, December, and then in January, that's when you like decided.
Correct.
Like, okay,
Yes.
officially. So you talked to my parents. All of this time too, I was like thinking like, okay, it's either gonna happen in December, January, February, March, April. I'm like, okay, it could happen any of those months. But we definitely had a moment in December that I was like, oh, like I
Yes, you
thought
did.
maybe you would propose today. And then you're like, oh, honey, like sit
Yes.
down here, let's chat. It's not
Yes.
gonna be this year. And it was like the last week of the year.
It was
And he's
after we
like,
had opened the gifts on
yeah,
Christmas
on
Day.
Christmas Day.
Hmm.
And I don't know why. It was just like I was like, could this be the day? Like, like I don't know. It was like a random thought that I had. And I'm like, do people get like anxiety about when it's gonna happen? And yes, they do. Like that's a very normal thing. Because you're like anticipating when it's gonna happen. So like from November, I was like, I just have to be ready. Like at any time it can happen. So I have to get my nails done, which I already do. Get my nails done monthly. But it was like that, and then I just need to like whenever there's a special occasion, I just need to be dressed and
He
ready.
kept asking, like, should I paint them red? Should I paint
Yeah.
them red? And I was like, it's whatever you
So
want,
to you.
But
And I was
you
like,
knew that the color that your nails are now would go best with an
yeah.
engagement ring. So,
Yeah. And I do naturally always do natural nail like natural colors. So yeah, so speed up till like February. I really didn't know what was happening. I just knew that was our 1 year since we turned a year, and so we were planning a date night, and it was
yeah.
also, it that whole weekend, like February 12th, 13th, 14th was a very special weekend for us. So I'm like, it could happen then, or it can also happen at our 1 year official, which is April 13th.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was, and so that anxiety, but also that excitement that I'm like, it could be happening anytime was really fun,
Yeah, it really was. And I had been thinking February 13th, probably since November.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember if it was before or after we went ring shopping, but yeah, I was thinking that day because it was exactly 1 year and one day after we had met and gone
Mm-hmm.
on our first date.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, so I was thinking that day. I thought that day was pretty meaningful. It was also the day before Valentine's Day. So then I was thinking about that day, but I wasn't like set on it. But then I spoke to my dad and I was like, yeah, I'm thinking of proposing to Liz on February 13th. And then he immediately said, he was like, oh, that's the day that I proposed to your mother. And as soon as he said that, I was like, wow. I was
Mm-hmm.
like, that solidifies it,
Yeah.
Like it just came up as if, like that day does seem very meaningful.
Mm-hmm.
And that weekend was very meaningful too. I mean,
Yeah.
because February 12th, that was exactly 1 year since we went on our first date. We
Mm-hmm.
went to Bar Louie. That was great.
Mm-hmm.
And then February 13th was our month anniversary.
Yeah.
Month anniversary. And then February 14th was Valentine's Day. So it was
Yeah.
just a trifecta of
Yeah.
like special days. I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, this is it. This
Yeah.
is it.
It's gonna happen that weekend. And it
Yeah,
was a very fun packed weekend.
it
And that's
really
why also
was.
I was like, is it gonna happen? Because he was so calm. So that week, I was trying to figure out what to wear, and I was like, okay, I can't find anything. I've ordered a whole bunch of dresses. Let me go to the mall. So I go to Abercrombie that week, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna find a dress for Friday, Saturday. And as I'm there, I'm like taking pictures and sending them to you. And I'm like, what do you think about this dress? What do you think about this dress? And there was two dress options that I really liked. And one of them was white and the other one was red. And I was like, let me check the prices. And once I checked the prices, the white one was $30 and the other one was like 150 something. And I'm like, this is a sign. I'm going to wear the white one. But I never wear white. So when people ask me, like, did you know that it was happening? No, it was not because of that. It just happened to be that dress was on sale that day. And then you even said, like, I like that one.
I loved it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I loved
So
it.
that's the dress that I ended up wearing to the proposal. So I had a few questions about that. They're like, you knew. Because how did you end up wearing white? I'm like, actually, no. I kind of wish that, like thinking now, like the red one would look beautiful too, but I'm like glad that I chose,
I'm
that
very
one.
glad you chose the white as
Yeah,
well.
and it just went with all the vibes. So Friday, that day we are out all day from the
That
morning.
was such a fun day.
It was. We went to the coffee shop in the morning. We had breakfast. We went to downtown Orlando. Here we have like a lake, I guess.
Yeah, Lake Eola.
Lake Eola, that you can do little swan boats. So we did that. Then we went to another coffee shop, got a matcha.
Yeah.
And it was just so chill. He was so relaxed, so calm, like barely on his phone. And I'm like, maybe it's not happening. Like maybe it's, and you were making jokes. I remember when we were on the little paddle boat. I don't know what came up about the proposal or like, oh, like what if, no, because I think we were seeing other people
I
and you're like,
remember that.
oh, what if like it could be on here or
Yeah.
something. You like made a
I was
joke.
like, what if you see your brother-in-law come up from under the water?
Oh, yeah. And then like there's a camera over there, like,
Yep.
and I'm like, would you do it on here? I'm like, no, like, this is not my vibe.
No,
Like
that
this is not
that
me.
boat was not sturdy enough for me to do it on there.
No, it was fun though.
It was, yes.
It was a fun activity. It was
Yes.
a beautiful day. And then after we go back home, you're getting ready, I'm getting ready, but he's like taking his sweet time, so relaxed, so calm.
Just waiting for my sister to get from Tampa to Orlando during rush hour.
Yes.
So I was stalling.
Yeah. But at the time it was like, oh, don't we have reservations? Like, why are we not rushing, And I was like doing my makeup and I'm like, could it be happening? Could it be not? And then like once we're ready, we go, it's probably like past the time we were supposed to leave. And I was like, maybe it's not going to happen. Like you're chilling. But as we were about to head out, you're like, oh, I forgot something. And then what were you getting inside?
I was getting the ring. Because that ring came in such a big box.
Mm-hmm.
So when I picked up the ring, it was in a big green box. So then I asked them, I was like, do you guys have a smaller box? So they were like, yeah, absolutely. So they gave me a much smaller black box in addition to the box that it came in. And I was like, okay, so this is the box that I'll keep it in on the day of. So I think you go to the bathroom, right? I'm trying to figure out a way to get the ring from my duffel bag onto me. So you go to the bathroom. I go into my duffel bag, and I'm trying to be very quiet because it's still in the packaging. Like it's in a gift bag with gift paper. So I take it out. Granted, I didn't prepare for this moment exactly.
Typey.
Take it out, finally get it out. I put it in the black box, and then I'm holding it now, and I'm just like, where am I going to put this thing? Because my pants, they were slim fit, so like it would have been too obvious to keep them on me. So I'm like, where am I going to put this thing? I have no idea. So I just put it in the drawer. I put it in a black drawer where I usually keep my wallet and keys. And so we go outside. I get my keys. We go outside to the car. And then I said, oh, I forgot my wallet. So I go back. I get my wallet. And I grab the box. And I'm just like, okay, I got to figure this out. So I'm like, can I keep it back here? I'm like, I can, but like, I don't want to ruin it. So finally, I'm wearing long socks. I was like, okay, so I pull my pants up, the bottom of my pants up. I put it inside my sock. It looked like I was on house arrest.
We have a picture. It's like such a big, bulky thing. And I'm like, I did not even notice.
So then I put it, and I make sure to put it on my left leg because my right leg, if I'm driving, she's on the passenger seat. That's the first leg she's going to see when I go in the car.
Yeah.
So I put it on my left leg. She's already in the car. I go in the car. She doesn't see it. We're driving. And as we're driving, now I start getting nervous because throughout the day I was ready. I was like prepared. I was like, we got this. Like as long
Chilling.
as everybody is
Yeah.
there. But because I was waiting for my sister and brother-in-law to get to the place before we got there, I stalled a little bit, right? But finally, we're on the road. But now I start getting nervous for two reasons. One, because it's actually happening.
Yeah.
And two, I wanted to make sure I did it during sunset time. And I was afraid that we weren't going to make the sunset. So I was like, okay, I'm getting a little nervous, but I was like, we'll be all right. We'll be okay. So finally, we get there. She thinks we're going to a steak dinner.
So
Right?
they got this beautiful like hotel that at the top they do have a restaurant, and they also have a rooftop.
Correct. She's like, where are we going? I was like, you know how you always bother me about giving you a steak dinner? Like today you're gonna get your steak dinner. You're gonna get your steak dinner. So she's like, awesome. So yeah, finally we go in the parking lot, and I'm just hoping she doesn't see like any of her family members' cars or if nobody's walking in. But you know, I wasn't too worried about it because I made sure that everybody got there before we got there. So then finally, yeah, like what I'm most nervous about is that she doesn't see the ring on my leg.
Yeah, because he's on the left side of me. So I get out of the car and it's like we're just walking towards the place. And then like it's like the doors open and then there's the elevator and then it's like we're going in there. And like, yeah, I feel like now that I think about it, like you were trying to like always have me on the right side.
Absolutely.
You know?
Yeah, because you're literally next to me. Like, so it's exactly how we are now. And the ring is on my left ankle.
Yeah.
So I'm just making sure that you don't see me as we're walking in. We get in, we go to the elevator, we go to the 9th floor.
Yeah. And then you were being quiet. So at this point, I was like, okay, I think it's going to happen. Like, I think because he was like, I just felt like it was the nerves or it's like we were together all day that it was kind of like, you know, you're just chill. Like, you're just like, let's just chill now. But yeah, at that point, I was like, oh my God. And then you weren't saying anything. So it was like, okay. And you were just guiding me. And then they're like, oh, like we got out of the elevator. And then the people there were like, oh, it's like, go that way. There's something happening here.
Yeah, we made a
And
right.
then,
We made a right out of the elevator. We were supposed to make a left. So we make a right. And then they said, oh, no, actually, I think your party is this way.
So I was like, okay.
So then we turn back around. Yeah, so we out of the elevator, we make a left, we make another left, and then we make a right. We're going down this long hallway, and we're literally looking at the end of the hallway, like a door, right? And it's shiny, like because it's a glass door, so you can see the outside. So it's like the sun is setting, so it's like it's the light at the end of the tunnel. So like we're walking. And then I open the door, we step out, and at that point, everyone is there.
Yeah.
There's rose petals on the floor. There were candles on the floor. Her brother, professional musician, he starts playing their song on the piano. And I see her eyes start cheering up.
I know. And Daniela, shout out to her, she captured that moment of like me being like, oh my God, because right when I stepped out, I saw the rose petals and then literally all my family, friends, like all our family. And it just felt like, oh my God, it's really happening.
Yeah.
And even like thinking about it months before, I would have never thought and imagined the feeling that I would feel that day. Because it was just like an overwhelming sense of joy and happiness. And like my ring, I love it. Yeah. It's amazing. So I can, just like everything about that day was beautiful. And like we walked out. And at that point, that's when like you had your phone, you took out your phone, you're like, I have a few words, and like you wrote them down. Yes. And I feel like I was like trying to pay attention, like, okay, locking into what you're saying, but I was also like so overwhelmed with like everything. And just so happy. Yep. And just, and it was like, okay, like you got on one knee, asked, and we said yes.
And I love that, like right before I asked, like I do the speech, right? Everything does feel very surreal. It's it's a very touching moment, but I love it like when in touching moments, like there's a little bit of humor added, and it's like right before I get down on one knee to pop the question, I bend over, I pull my pants up, I grab the ring from out of my sock. Yeah. Everybody starts laughing. Yeah. And they were like, that's brilliant. Yeah. It's so funny. And then I get down on one knee, pop the question.
And then he grabs my right hand. So that was
That's right.
He cross my right, and I'm like,
That's right.
it's this one. So he's like, and I'm like, we've never done this before. Clearly, this is, so
First
I feel,
proposal.
yeah. So it was
First
very,
and last.
yes, it was like our humor also within
Yeah.
it, because we're both kind of like those, like, things that happen. It's just funny.
Yeah,
though.
it is. It really
like, we
is.
make it funny.
So it was great.
Yeah, it was great. And even in like the pictures, like, they came out so beautiful. Like, we took sunset photos, family pictures, like our pictures, and it just felt like such so surreal that like we got there, right? And it was just like better. Like, you did such a good job. Like, it was better than I would have imagined. He worked with like
Thank
my
you.
sisters and his sister
Yeah, I couldn't have
to
done
make
it
it
alone.
happen.
Yeah.
And yeah, it just felt like a lot of love.
Yeah,
So it was
absolutely.
like, okay, we're engaged.
Yeah.
And then after we went home to my parents' house, and they had like, like a party, for us. And it was just with close friends and family. And that was
Yes.
also so much love.
Yeah, we had Puerto Rican food catered to the
Yes.
house.
Yeah, and a cake.
Yeah, it was delicious.
And
It
we're
was a great time,
yeah.
and I mean, I was seriously, before we got engaged, like I was seriously okay with, like, I know weddings are very expensive. Wedding planning can be very stressful, but I was like okay with going to the courthouse and making it official that way.
Yeah, we were talking about that for
Yeah, for a
Yeah.
little bit, yeah. Or because I didn't want to go through the whole hassle of wedding planning, this and that, yada yada yada. But two things happened. Like, one, now I do want to go through the hassle. It's not really a hassle. It's just the responsibility of planning for a wedding. Because, like I said, this is a moment that you get just once in your life, and you really, enjoy it, enjoy the process. So that's one. And then two, I saw how much fun we had, like celebrating our moment, like during our engagement, like how much fun we had with our family. Like my immediate family, your immediate family, they all came together. They were socializing for the first time.
Yeah.
And we were celebrating, and it just felt so good to celebrate that moment with people that we love.
Yeah.
And like that's what like made me realize, like, this is why I want a wedding.
Yeah.
Because I want to be able to celebrate this with people that I love, and I want
Yeah.
them to be a part of this. And that's really why you should celebrate a wedding.
Yeah.
So so now I feel like our reason for going through everything we're going through now, like wedding planning and everything, like it's gonna be worth it. Because when that day comes where we're celebrating our union and we're celebrating it with people who are gonna be in our life forever,
Yeah.
it's like, enjoy that. That's why you do it.
Yeah. And like, when are you ever going to have all these people all together? Like, it's unfortunate, but it's really rare to have all of your family and friends in one place. And it's not to say that we want to spend a lot of money, because that is a huge investment, going into that. But, just making it special for us, and like celebrating our love, in front of people that really love us, that support us, that are there for us, that have been a part of the journey with us. So it's such an exciting season. And that weekend, when I tell you guys that I cried so much, and that day I cried, and it was like going to overwhelm me. Like, after like we went through, like, on the car ride home, we went through like, okay, tell me everything. So like, we sat down, we debriefed about like when he talked to my parents, when he talked to my sisters, when he got the ring, like, just, I was like, oh my God, like, I didn't notice anything. And I'm someone that's like super hyper aware, and I really feel like I just step back to be able to enjoy it. And I really try not to ask so many questions, because I didn't want to ruin it for myself,
Yeah.
And so I knew it was going to happen sometime, but I also let it happen and let it be. And that's why I was like surprised. I was like, oh my God, this is like me, And it just felt like, it felt like you knew me, like my family, and like it just felt very, very special. And even after that, the Valentine's weekend, we went to like this jazz at the park, and it was so romantic, like straight from a movie, like live jazz music. We had pasta, we had wine.
That's right.
It was like super cute.
That was a great time.
Yes, we had to bring our chairs. That was like its own thing.
It was a picnic.
It was like a picnic in the park, literally.
Yeah.
But it was so fun, and then that's when I started crying, and I'm like, I'm just so overwhelmed with love.
I literally had pasta in my mouth. Like, I'm just like, are you all right?
I was like, this is just perfect. I was like, everything about this weekend is perfect. Like, I just felt so loved, and we just felt so loved by people, like, calling us, checking in on us, congratulating us.
Yeah.
And just, yeah, like you just feel such a support, and like, it's true. It's like, this is a whole nother season in life, which is so exciting to go into. Um, and yeah, so it's like, okay, we're doing this.
Yeah, it was fun. It was a great weekend. Great
Yeah.
weekend. Like, yeah, like that Thursday, we went back to salsa.
Mm-hmm.
We did our first salsa class in a while. It was a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
We went to Bar Louie,
Mm-hmm.
and that was going to bar. That was the first time going to Bar Louie since our very first date.
Yeah, it was like a year.
So we were just there, hanging out, having fun. It was our last date it was our last date night,
Mm-hmm.
as a dating couple,
Mm-hmm.
and then yeah, the next day we did the Swambo.
Mm-hmm.
We went to the coffee shops. That was our
Mm-hmm.
last day date as a dating couple.
Yeah.
And yeah, we did the proposal that evening, and then yeah, Saturday, Valentine's Day,
Yeah.
that Lou Gardens. We went to Lou Gardens. We saw the live concert, jazz music. It was very romantic.
Mm-hmm.
We did a
It's
picnic,
beautiful.
had wine and
Mm-hmm.
Italian food, and that was basically our first date as an engaged couple.
Yeah. And we're like, we're
And
engaged. Like, it just feels so surreal.
it was
Like, even
amazing.
telling people, the next day, like waking up and I'm like, oh my God, this is real. Like, I'm engaged, we're engaged. Like, it's so exciting.
It really was.
Yeah, even like we even had that whole thing of saying boyfriend or girlfriend versus fiance. Like, now I feel like we've
Yeah,
gone into that
kind of
flow.
breaking that habit.
Yeah,
It's
but
like a
like,
25, 26, 2025,
yeah,
2026 kind of
yeah,
thing.
you're like, okay, like, we're boyfriend or girl. No, we're fiance. That's my
Yes.
fiance. And so just getting used to that, but it's also, yeah, led into the past month has really been us, yeah, working towards planning this
Hmm.
wedding and making it happen. We definitely have thought about doing a micro wedding. I knowing the event side of things can add up and be expensive. But originally, we wanted to do like a destination, like Italy wedding. And
That would have been nice.
yes, it would have been nice. But we booked a venue that is like Italy in Central Florida.
Huge win.
Yes. And we are getting married in fall 2026.
Yes,
So it
absolutely.
is happening. We solidified our venue this past weekend.
Yep.
I feel like we just knew it when we got there, and we're like, okay, like we sat in the car like an hour, like debating, should we do it, should we not? And it was like, this is it.
Yep, that's it.
So
It's
yeah, so
official.
we're excited.
Yeah, I'm very happy we booked that venue.
Yeah, because everything depends on the venue.
It
So
really
that was its
does.
own thing. And
Yeah.
the reality is, like, without, yeah, just without that, we would have been stalling, like, still figuring things out. But now it's like we're moving things forward. I did hire a wedding coordinator, which I'm so excited about. That was one of the best tips that people consistently gave me, is like, hire a wedding coordinator. And I did. She is amazing. So I will be sharing more about that process. And we had our first meeting with her, and it was just very informative,
Yeah.
very
You need
helpful.
that sort of support. You really
Yeah.
do.
Yeah, like breaking down budget. She's like, all right, so what's your budget? Where are you at right now?
Yeah.
She's like, we need to scale it back. And like, how can we save money? How can we do things? Like, how can we work with the people Like, let's break that down.
Yeah.
And yeah, so it's been good.
And what I really love about having a wedding coordinator too, it's like you're trying to make something happen, right? You're trying to reach an outcome. But when you try to handle it yourself, you feel so overwhelmed. You feel you have a lot of doubts. You have a lot of fears, and it's because you just don't know how to handle it well. But then you have a professional, that consults you on how to handle things. And yeah, I mean, sometimes they'll bring you back to reality and be like, this is how much it's going to cost, or this is what it's going to take, and it's like, okay, like, I appreciate the truth, the reality, but then they also make you feel like, but it's possible, like,
Yeah.
we can make it happen, and this is how we get there. So we
Yeah.
have like that guiding light that's
Like
just
a
going to help
plan.
us reach our outcome. And so that's what I really love about just, hiring professionals for something that you're trying to achieve,
Yeah. So I think that's the
So,
best decision, and I'm glad that we did it. A lot of people asked me, would I plan my own wedding, how I do events, and the answer is no. I think to be less stressed, I rather just have the assistance and the help. There are some things, of course, like I am a visionary. I know what I want. Like that is very of me, like to like be very clear of like, this is the direction, these are the things that I want. But it's more having that support to make that happen, you know? So I'm excited. We're excited.
Mm-hmm.
And now just, yeah, starting the little details. So we wanted to talk about what are things that we are not going to be doing. You know, that's maybe very normal for weddings, and what things that we are like looking forward to in the wedding process.
Okay, let's see. I'll let you start
So
with
the
that one.
things that we're not doing for our wedding in 2026 is that we are actually not doing uh, our groomsmen and maid of honors to stand next to us. So it's like I'm even debating if they should even walk down the aisle. But I just feel like that can be very distracting, and it's something that for pictures I rather just have us and the person marrying us, and just keeping it very simple. So that's the first thing.
Yeah, simple is good.
Yeah. The second thing is we are not going to have a father daughter dance slash mom and son dance. As you guys know, what we shared in the last episode, I just think because of the situation, I rather just not have either, you know, out of it's going to be a hard day, you know, and emotionally. And I just think it's just a way to keep it, you know, light. I don't
Yeah.
know if that's the right word. I don't know. Yeah.
I mean, it's gonna be bittersweet no matter
Yeah.
what, but yeah, but we're handling that.
Yeah.
We're handling that, and but yeah, and that's something that we decided and we're not gonna do, and
Yeah.
yeah, that's totally okay. You
Yeah.
know,
The
no rice thrown at us at the end.
no rice thrown. I know he was like, "How about rice?" I'm like, "No, we're not gonna do that. We're not gonna have rice. I don't know if we're gonna have sparklers. I'm still not sure about that." And then what's the other thing? We're not doing a bridal shower or any of those extra parties. I feel like weddings are already very expensive, so we're literally just we get engaged, we had a mini party, and then it's like the day of. And
That's
if we
it.
decide to have a bachelorette or bachelor party, then that's separate. But
Yeah.
keeping it very simple because it's also a short engagement time.
We're not having a huge wedding. I mean, it'll be less than 100 people.
Yeah.
So, although for us it does seem pretty big, but generally speaking,
Yeah.
it's I guess a small to mid-sized wedding, but yeah, nothing like 120, 150, 200 people, nothing like that.
Yeah.
You know,
Which is hard. Like, I now
sure, yeah.
understand all the stressful conversations that people have, you know, when it comes to to the wedding process, because now I understand why people don't invite you to a wedding. Like, it's not personal, but it feels personal until you're there, and then you're like, actually no, like I understand why you didn't invite me, because it's not, each person there is at least $300 to $400. It's not just about the food, it's their chair, their drink, their, you know, the all the visuals that they need, you know, their accommodations, like their invitation, you know, each person is worth that.
Yeah.
And realistically, I would love if we had the money to like invite everyone I know, but
Absolutely.
it's like that's not the reality.
And if
And
we
I,
could, we would.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that's the hard part in this season, is making those hard decisions where, you know, people talk about, you know, friendship breakups or just tension that can come up. And it's just navigating through that is something that we're working through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, if a friendship breakup does happen because of that, then I mean, were they really your friends? Probably not. So, yeah, it's nothing personal. It's just weddings are very expensive.
Yeah.
So
And until you're there, you really start seeing, you're like, yeah, I understand why people elope or they just go to the courthouse and they don't even have anything, you know,
Correct.
because it is like you either choose between that or like a house, or you choose between that or something else, you know?
Yeah.
And we want to have a nice, you know, honeymoon and all those things. So it's trying to make it very small and intimate. That is our goal. And being intentional and, you know, deciding who goes and who doesn't, you know?
Yeah.
So that's been, I would say, the things that we're working through right now. But I also am super excited to marry you.
Absolutely.
I am
Yes,
super
very
excited to go through this with you. And we were talking about that in the car because we went to go do adult things today. And it was like, okay, like this is fun. We're doing this
It's
together.
like, this is it.
Yeah.
This is it.
Like we're
I
doing
love it.
life and
Yeah.
figuring things out.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I love it. It's great. And getting back um basically the support that you get during
Mm-hmm.
your wedding, like if someone is invited or not. Um, so I've already had not conversations, but interactions with people
Mm-hmm.
who basically just know like they're, unfortunately I can't invite them to the wedding
Mm-hmm.
because for reasons we just explained.
Yeah.
And I've had a lot of positive feedback where it's
Mm-hmm.
like, listen, I completely understand.
Yeah.
Very expensive, very you're, I understand that you're limited to the amount of guests that you can invite.
Mm-hmm.
However, I do want to celebrate that day with you. So,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you let us take you out, we can go
Mm-hmm.
have some dinner and we can
Mm-hmm.
celebrate. And I love that. Like that's the kind
Mm-hmm.
of support that we need
Yeah.
because it's not easy. It's hard. It's
Mm-mm.
having a wedding, pulling it together, like pulling it off. Putting everything
Mm-hmm.
together, getting the right people invited. It's difficult. So
Yeah.
to have people just share their support, it's very helpful.
Yeah.
So
Because also, something that I feel like if you've gotten married, like if you have a lot of family, they take up most of your wedding party and most of your wedding list. So respectfully, like those people do come first. Like they
hmm
do have priority. And so I think like, people like sometimes, friends that you haven't talked to in years, or like people old coworkers that you're not really that close to, or people that are not part of like your everyday life. It's like they end up being like, okay, well, we only have these many spots, and like I love you and we have great memories, but like unfortunately is not going to be for this one,
yep, yeah,
but it doesn't mean like, I just feel like they make it kind of like top friends on MySpace. Like I know I'm like aging myself by saying that, but it's kind of like if you're not invited and you're not the top 10, then it's like you don't like me. And it's like that is not the reality, of it. Him and I have different experience with this. That's why I'm speaking like this. And he's more like, oh, people are so understanding. I'm like, I don't feel that. I feel like people aren't. And people invite themselves to your wedding. People put the pressure on you to be invited to your wedding. And it's just kind of like, and it's uncomfortable sometimes because you're like, I don't, like, why does one mean the other? But
hmm
I understand why, because that's a really big pivotal moment in someone's life. But it's just like, when you have 70 family members, that's
guilty. Oh yeah,
I don't know. Like I have a select amount of people I can invite and it's hard. Like it's
yes.
hard. So yeah. So I feel like with that, pray for me. I'm going to be in therapy for it
It's all
because I'm
right.
working
It's
through
okay.
those
We'll
things.
get through it.
Yes, but I feel like we're also looking forward to it all just coming together and us being able to enjoy the process. So when people say enjoy the process, what do you feel like people mean by that? Like enjoy your engagement process, like enjoy the journey.
Yeah, because I think you learn a lot. I think you learn a lot of things throughout it, such as, do what's best for yourself, do
Mm-hmm.
what you want. Don't feel
Mm-hmm.
inclined to do something that other people want you to do.
Mm-hmm.
Don't feel forced to do anything you don't want you to do. Like this is your day, so do
Mm-hmm.
what you want. So
Mm-hmm.
when I say or when people say enjoy the process, it's like really that process is okay. How am I going to make this day what I want it to be?
Mm-hmm.
Like how am I going to celebrate it the way I want it? And we really do have the choice. How many
Mm-hmm.
people do we want there?
Yeah.
What kind of wedding do we want to have? Where do we want it to be?
Mm-hmm.
What kind of traditional moments do we want there that we don't want
Mm-hmm.
there? What kind of non-traditional moments do we want there?
Yeah.
So it's really it's an art that it's our canvas and we paint
Mm-hmm.
it how we want.
Yeah.
And like all those decisions, they fall on us, and we
Mm-hmm.
are more in control than we think. And it's like enjoy that process.
Yeah.
Like you're creating a day that you're gonna remember for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
So yeah, and I understand it gets overwhelming. Yeah, it's very difficult, and absolutely, yes, it does.
Mm-hmm.
You either get overwhelmed with choices, or how expensive things are,
Mm-hmm.
disappointing people. I mean, that's
Mm-hmm.
an inevitable reality.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but it's like we're in the driver's seat, so
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
so yeah, I feel like that's what that means.
Yeah.
You know.
I also think it's enjoy this season. When people say like enjoy the season, I think it's also like, yes, you're never going to get it again, but it's like you're learning so much about each other that it's more than just that day. Like, so it's like
Mm-hmm.
enjoy getting to grow deeper together, becoming like, yeah, like starting to almost become one, right? Because you're making
I
these
do
hard
feel closer
decisions.
to you throughout this
Yeah.
process.
We're like, oh my God,
Yeah.
we're both stressed about the way.
Yeah. It's like we're going through something
Yeah.
together. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like your first big decisions that you're making as a
Yeah.
couple.
Yeah.
And to not get lost so much in the little details.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think that's where I hear people, you know, that tell me like, dang, like I regret doing that. Like I wish I would have done something completely different. Like I feel like I was so busy on my wedding day. Like I didn't even get to eat my food, enjoy my day. Like, so I feel like sometimes we get lost in all the little stuff that is more for everybody else. And that's like what you're saying. Like,
Yep.
remember it's about you. Remember that what do you want? Like it's not going to be about what everybody else, but also remember that it's more than just that day.
Mm-hmm.
Like your marriage is so important, and that's the investment. Like you guys working through things, you guys working through conflict, you guys working through making decisions, like you working through getting to know each other and prepare yourselves more than just that day. And so that's what I want to make sure that we do, is that we continue to like prioritize our
Communicate.
relationship, and in the midst of when all the other stressors and life, you know, decisions come at you with the wedding.
Correct. That's true.
So we're in that journey, but we have our venue booked and excited. You know, next month we have a lot of other exciting things. Like I'm going to go look for my dress and, you know, doing engagement photos, just, yeah, all the fun stuff.
Yeah. It's
What can't you wait for?
other than the wedding day itself.
Yeah, like what are you like excited for throughout the process? Like trying the food, getting
Definitely trying the food. Showing our parents the venue.
Yeah.
You know, that's
because they
pretty
really want to
excited.
see it.
Yeah, I want them to see that, and yeah, I'm excited for that. Letting my groomsmen know, you know, that I want you to be my groomsman. I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah.
Although it's hard, you know, those are decisions, tough decisions that have to be made. Yeah, I would say those, yeah. Those are the only ones I could think of right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be an exciting journey, but we're taking you guys along.
Absolutely.
You know, he'll be on the podcast every few months, I would say, to just do a little life update. Where are we at?
Yes.
But
go from special guest to supporting actor.
Yes, there you go. I'm like, you can be like my co-host.
Yes,
look
indeed.
at this. No, you'll have to do
cultivate.
They cultivate. He cultivates. You know, I always wanted a partner that started the guys division. So you never know.
One thing at a time.
You never know. No, but thank you guys so much for tuning into this week's podcast episode. We wanted to share about our story, you know, what we're looking forward to, and any tips on just your season, how you got through it, what helped you, how did you navigate, or just tips post wedding day. We would love to hear. So make sure to write in the comments down below, share it on social media with your friends, and yeah, let us know what you would love us to talk about in the future episodes. But just super thankful for you guys tuning in weekly and supporting us, but also supporting the podcast and our community. And if you are an Orlando girly, make sure to check out our She Cultivates Orlando community as we host monthly events for women. We have great things happening over there that are expanding and hopefully expanding to your city. So yeah, we're really excited.
Absolutely,
Thank you so much for joining me again.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
Of course.
Love being here.
So we will see you guys. Have a great week, and we'll see you next week.